Good morning and welcome to SMN Civil Engineering, Environmental Engineering 1, Module 1, Part 9. We are studying about population forecasting. In the previous classes, we are already learned the 4 methods of population forecasting. Today's class, we are going to learn another 4 methods of population forecasting. The 5th method is graphical method. In graphical method, if the previous data, that is the previous census details, are not correctly available, we can approach through graphical method. In this method, populations of last few decades are correctly plotted to a suitable scale on the graph. The population curve is smoothly extended for getting future population. The population on the y-axis and the year in the x-axis. This extension should be done carefully and it requires proper experience and judgment. From the previous data, we are extending the graph. If it is not done with the accuracy, the forecasted populations will be wrong. The best way of applying in this method is to extend the curve by comparing with the population curve of some other similar cities having similar growth condition. That is another method, that is comparative graphical method. By comparative graphical method, the cities with a similar growth pattern are plotted on the same graph. In graphical method, we are comparing the details of similar cities having the similar pattern of growth rate in the single graph. That is, the graph is plotted only for our city to be forecasted for population. And comparative graphical method, all the population growth curve is plotted in the same graph. That is the difference between graphical method and comparative graphical method. And it is better to compare all the peculiarities, all the growth patterns, conditions, that is industrial, commercial, and the migration, all the factors that is affecting the population should be considered for the extending the graph in graphical method. Now we are going to the next method, that is comparative graphical method. In this method, the census populations of cities already developed under similar conditions are plotted. First, we are plotting the census populations of cities of similar conditions in the same graph. The curve of past population of the city under consideration is plotted on the same graph. The curve is extended carefully by comparing with the population curve of some similar cities having similar conditions of growth. The advantage of this method is that future population can be predicted from the present population even in the absence of some of the past census reports. If the census reports are not available, we can plot it by using the data available from the similar cities which having the similar growth patterns. These are two methods, that is graphical method. One is graphical method and another one is comparative graphical method. In these two methods, the comparative graphical method is more accurate. Now we will move on to our next method. It is master plan method. In the rural areas, the city development or urban development is gradual. That is, cities are developed in a haphazard manner. But in a master plan method, that is planned cities like the city that we have planned in Hyderabad, Telangana, the planned cities are there. And in planned cities, all the each and every important or non-important points in a city are planned in such an accuracy that we can easily predict the population in that city in the coming years. And these cities are planned for 25 to 30 years. All the road structures, the water treatment, the water distribution, and other all industrial and commercial and all the areas are developed in such a manner that we are already planned that. There will be separate residential areas, separate industrial areas, separate commercial areas, and we can predict the population to be developed or grown in that cities. And the maximum population will be predicted for that city, and we can easily calculate the water demand by easily forecasting the population. The big and metropolitan cities are generally not developed in haphazard manner. The master plan is prepared for next 25 to 30 years of the city. According to the master plan, the city is divided into various zones such as residence, commercial, and industrial. The population densities are fixed for various zones in the master plan. From this population density, total water demand and wastewater generation for that zone can be worked out. By this method, it is very easy to access precisely the design population. This is the master plan method. We have already learned 3 methods in this class: graphical method, comparative graphical method, and master plan method. Next, we will move on to the last method, that is logistic curve method. In logistic curve method, the growth rate is normal. That is, in the normal conditions, we are accepting logistic curve method for population forecasting. And this method is used when the growth rate of the population due to births, deaths, and migrations takes place under normal situation, and it is not subjected to any extraordinary changes like epidemic, war, earthquake, or any natural disaster, etc. And the population follows the growth curve characteristics of living things within limited space and economic opportunity. If the population of a city is plotted with respect to time, the curve is so obtained under normal conditions looks like S-shaped curve, and it is known as logistic curve. This is the similar curve that we have already learned in the population growth curve. Same curve, population in the y-axis and here in the x-axis, and the saturation population and all that thing, that is dp by dt, or that we have already learned before these population forecasting methods. Now we will move on to this logistic curve. This graph shows the a typical logistic curve plotted against population and time, and this that you have already learned in the population growth curve in the previous class. And it is like an S-shaped curve, and we have to remember 4 equations for calculating population in logistic curve method. Here we have an empirical formula, that is log to the base e ps minus p divided by p into log to the base e ps minus p0 by p0 is equal to minus k into ps into t, where p is the population at any time t from the origin j. That we have to find out p. Then ps is the saturation population. P0 is the population of the city at the start point j. And k is a constant. T time in years. This is the basic formula, and the other formulas are derived from this basic formula. Here P is equal to PS divided by 1 plus PS minus P0 by P0 log to the base E inverse minus Ks minus K into Ps into T. We are going to simplify this equation by giving some small constants in this equation, that is m is equal to Ps minus P0 by P0 and n is equal to 2.3 divided by T1 log to the base 10 P0 into Ps minus P1 divided by P1 into Ps minus P0. This equation is put in the first equation, that is P is equal to Ps divided by 1 plus Ps minus P0 divided by P0 log to the base E inverse minus K into Ps into T. Then our equation changes to P is equal to Ps divided by 1 plus m log inverse n into T, where Ps is equal to 2 into P0, P1, P2 minus P1 square into P0 plus P2 divided by P0, P2 minus P1 square. And in calculating population, that is forecasting populations, the equation for Ps, equation for M, equation for N, and equation for P, we have to remember. All these four equations you have to remember. Now we will move on to a problem. The population of a city in 3 consecutive years, 1991, 2001 and 2011 is 80,000. 2,50,000 and 4,80,000 respectively. Determine the saturation population, the equation of logistic curve, and see the expected population in 2021. The three equations that we have to remember, that is Ps, M and N. Then we have to write another equation also, fourth equation, that is the equation for P. That is we have to calculate P2021. All given data are shown in the slide. And first of all, we have to calculate the saturation population. Put the values and calculate the saturation population. Then we have to calculate M, then N. We get all these values, Ps, M and N. Then we will move on to the fourth equation, that is the population in 2021. That is P is equal to Ps divided by 1 plus M into log inverse N into T. Then we will get the population of P. In second question, the equation of logistic curve. We have to write the equation of logistic curve. That is, equation of logistic curve is our basic equation that is given first. That is log E Ps minus P divided by P into log E Ps minus P0 divided by P0 is equal to minus K into Ps into T. Here we have to write this equation, and this is the equation for logistic curve. I hope you all understood the problem, and if you have any doubt, please contact me. Now I am concluding this session and we are completing module 1, and next class onwards we will move on to module 2. Thank you and bye-bye.